Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covering Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People. And I got that title because you now have a friend in the media, which is me. Anytime you all have a question, I'm here to get that question answered for you and just tell you all I can about this Carolina Panthers team who has started their first day of training camp here in Charlotte with new head coach Dave Canales, a lot of new draft picks, a lot of new free agents, and some new coaching staff mixed in there as well. So a lot to talk about today, and want to get you up to speed with what to expect. But before I do that, let me kindly ask you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. I have no idea why I'm not at 10,000 subscribers. I work my butt off for you guys. Hope you enjoy the content. And our broadcasts are live for the reason of interacting with you. Pretty unique opportunity here to interact with a credentialed member of the media, talking to you guys about the Carolina Panthers. So we're about to get started. And somebody says fix the mic. All right, fix the mic. What does that mean? I did some tests beforehand, but this is the first broadcast of the season, so we may have some issues. I'm assuming there's a little static. So I'm going to wait for one more comment here about the microphone. And then I'll go to get started. I'm going to try one thing here. All right, so to me, it looked like the mic is corrected now. Give me a thumbs up about the mic. I think it's corrected now. One more second, I'll wait for you guys to confirm that the mic. Oh, you guys are saying lots of feedback. All right, now I got good. I got a good. I'm going to wait for one more good. All right. So appreciate the feedback. So one thing about being independent media, I don't have a whole team around me monitoring things, so I do rely on you guys to help me out and let me know when there's some issues. I did some testing beforehand. I guess it came back. I'm going to order some more equipment to help make this something that doesn't happen again, but that may take me a day or two. So tomorrow when we go live again, let me know if there's any audio issues or anything like that, and I'll go ahead and get that fixed. So let me go ahead and start over. Chris Jenkins, a.k.a. Man of the People, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Your friend in the media. Anytime you all may have a question, I'm here to help get those questions answered for you. Content that you like to see, let me know, and I'll continue to do my best to get those for you. Also, you know, we're now a day closer to the rookies that I'll have on the show. Plan to have all the rookies, so look forward to that coming as well. All right, so let me go ahead and tell you what to expect from today's show. So we're going to go through some photographs that our photographer, Patrick Snyder, was able to capture today, put those on the screen, and then we're going to go to a play-by-play breakdown from today. Other things we're going to have is we're going to recap the interviews that we have today, had the opportunity to get with the Panthers, which will be Dave Canales, Xavier Legette, and J.C. Horn. So also you're going to notice there's now, it's not in this first live, but if you're watching the rebroadcast, you're going to notice the chapters on YouTube that allow you to skip to one part of the show that you may be interested in more so than the other. So be on the lookout for that. And I got to kind of try to grab my water that I forgot to so that my voice doesn't go out, but I'll try to get that here in a second. That's the show for today. So without further ado, thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you all once again for letting me know about the mic. Let's go ahead and get into some photographs from today's Panthers training camp. So here you have it. Panthers are in Charlotte for the first time. That is now the view that many people were able to enjoy today from the fan experience here in Charlotte. That is the man. That is your new head coach, Dave Canales, as he walks around during the first training camp for him as a professional head coach here in Charlotte. Hit the like button. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so. And subscribe. We got to get to 10,000. It's going to help me so much. The bigger I grow, the more I can do for you guys. But here are the players breaking a little offense and defense together. Today, the offense had on blue and the defense had on the white. Here you see our guy, Bryce Young, with good old Andy Dalton standing by, watching. And if you enjoy these photographs, the best advice I can give to you, head on over to Instagram because we have many more photographs over there. There's something that we're going to talk about. This guy right here, Xavier Legette, who J.C. Horn talked about today. So that video is going to be coming up as well here in a second. Sorry, you guys already saw that one. A little bit of practice action. Derek Brown always leading the defensive tackle drills, as he should. Got a nice paycheck, but he's definitely a leader on this team. Captains, we're good ways away from captain's announcements. And here's one more great photograph of our guy, Xavier. Big guy. XL is what they call him. And Derek Brown talking with Sam Franklin Jr. and Thorman here before practice really got underway. So hope you enjoyed it, but there are your photographs from today's first training camp here in Charlotte. A few things about the training camp today. It was the first one, so there were lots of kinks to work out. As you may see from myself as well, kinks to work out with where to go, staffing, security, and all that good stuff. Now, we'll say this. The tickets sold out, but as you might expect, anytime the tickets anytime a free event is ticketed, you have people that just may go to get the tickets and it's not too a big deal whether or not they can make it. So things weren't full today. And I don't know if the Panthers are going to adjust that, maybe open up some more tickets because they're going to look at how many people are no showing. Or they may also say, hey, it's the first day. We'll kind of wait a little bit to see if we're going to open up any more tickets or not. So that's something that I will talk to PR and try to find out and get back to you all. But otherwise, it was pretty good to have it here in Charlotte. Traffic wasn't terrible. Parking's not terrible. Again, it's just 2,000 people that they could get here. So it's not like you're going to have a game day experience where you have 70,000+ people and all the tailgaters here in Charlotte to have to worry about for getting to parking. And they had food, they had concessions, they had, and I learned VIP has all inclusive. I don't know if you're able to get that easily or not, but if you are, that's something that's pretty cool for food and drinks on that part. And so those are some of the sites that you see and experiences that I had with training camp today. Let's go ahead and jump into this play-by-play. And also let me plug this right now. So I'm not going to show any of the video from practice today. There's a completely separate video. Just click on my channel, you'll see it. It's a completely separate video of plays that we're able to capture, media is able to capture with highlights today. So if you want to see that, click on over to the other video. I'll put that in the description as well for you guys to click on that and be able to check that out. So let's go ahead and get into the play-by-play from today's action. Again, first time, new environment, new rules, new locations. So my play-by-plays will always be the best that I can do as one person trying to watch and collect this information. So please don't take it as this is exactly everything that happened today. Give me a little wiggle room, but I like to give this to those diehards out there that aren't able to make it and want to know what things look like. So Bryce had a completion, wasn't able to get the first player that he had that completion to. Bryce was then able to make a completion to Terrace Marshall. I don't feel like these are all of my notes right here. All right. Didn't properly get all of my notes updated. So for some of these, I'm just going to say the players' numbers. And then tomorrow, again, promise we'll tidy up all these little dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But Bryce with a completion to 84 on a slant route. Bryce with a completion to 82 on a short out. So these are 7-on-7s that I'm talking to you guys so far about, okay? 7-on-7. Andy Dalton then came in with the incompletion, and then Dalton with the interception by number 27 in the middle of the field. I feel awkward not having these names with you guys, so give me a second. I'm going to just do this on the fly to get these names. My apologies. First day back in Charlotte, didn't get all my notes. I really thought I updated all this information before I got online here, but we'll fix it. All right, get my bearings here. Still getting my bearings. All right, bear with me. All right, so here we go. We'll backtrack a little bit. So Bryce I said 84 earlier. 84 is Stephen Sullivan and the slant route. Then earlier I mentioned Bryce to number 82 on a short out. 82 is Tommy Tremble. There was a flag on that play, by the way, 7-on-7. You're going to have that. And then Dalton with the incompletion. And then Dalton with an interception. He was intercepted today by Alex Cook. Ran that back. Defense, of course, had a lot of fun with that. First time getting some kind of live action, if you will. Now, as we go through these times of training camp and I'm reporting to you guys and having some little comments, I want to stress these guys are in no pads at all, not even shells, just a helmet, jerseys, and shorts. So a lot of things will look good, a lot of guys will look good, but I don't put much weight into it until these guys start to at least have pads on, all right? And then I'll put even more once we get into a little preseason action and you see them up against some other players. But Dalton with the incompletion, then Dalton intercepted by, again, Alex Cook. Then Dalton with the pass attempt to Jaden Sheridan. He dropped that. And it was interesting because what I saw later on, right after that 7-on-7 drill ended, was I saw all the running backs doing push-ups. So that's a good thing to see, cool thing to see in terms of camaraderie. You know, a lot of times you'll hear guys talk about their room, whether it's the DB room, running backs room. So that's just a way I would assume that these guys are holding each other accountable for what they're doing, is that you see all the running backs do push-ups after just one running back dropped the pass during the 7-on-7s. By the way, if you guys are having some comments coming, please keep them coming. I can't see them right now, but I'm going to periodically check those and try to get to all those comments that are coming. Dalton hit Tremble across the middle, and then our backup quarterback. All right, I have a discrepancy here in my numbers. We have two guys with the same number, but Jack Plummer came in and hit Amir Smith Merced near the sideline. Plummer again hitting, who do I have here? Hitting number 39 midways downfield, center of the field, and then they went on to special teams. Now, we did see Popo Amavi. You guys are probably laughing at me with this name pronunciation. I'm sorry I don't have the pronunciation sheet in front of me. He left the practice on a cart, did not get an update from Canales on him and what happened with him today. But after this, we then went into team drills. Let me just check with you guys in the comments to make sure that everything is good. All right. Nothing there about the sound, so it looks like we are still good. We're going to continue on with some of these team drills. So team drills, now you're going to have the variance where sometimes they'll see that they're under center and sometimes they are in shotgun. And what I just forgot, I think I went out of order. I was supposed to play some interviews. But anyway, actually, I'm not out of order. Not out of order. I'm just confused because it's been a long day. Started at like 7 o'clock in the morning. But nevertheless, you guys don't want to hear that. Let me get it together. All right, team drills. Bryce was under center. Handoff to Chuba Hubbard. Next play, Bryce was under center. He had a fake handoff, ended with a pass to Deontay Johnson, guy that obviously looks to be our number one wide receiver. You saw that mentioned. I think they call it the blueprint. It's what the video the Panthers put out, and they're saying like, "Hey, we got a lot that we expect from you." And then Dave Canales today talking about, "Hey, where's Deontay Johnson?" Basically saying that guy is looking to be your number one for sure for this Carolina Panthers team. Bryce was in the shotgun, had to scramble a little bit, ended up dumping it off to Miles Sanders with a completion. Dalton came in, he was in the shotgun, had a completion to Jatavian Sanders. So the rookie getting some run, getting some opportunities, making a catch, good to see. Dalton with a completion to Amir Smith-Marset. Next, Dalton was in the shotgun, and he had a completion to Rashad Penny, running back, so he's kind of checking it down there. So you're going to see some of those. You're not going to see a lot of deep plays yet because they're still installing things, right? They're only in practice one. Even though they had installs before, they're going to go through some more installs. And really, Coach Canales mentioned that, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but after the 8th practice is when you can start to see they should have everything in, a big chunk of it in, and you'll start to see some more things going. But that's kind of what you could expect. 8 practices before they have most of their install complete. Dalton was under center now with a handoff to Jaden. And next we had Jack that came in, Plummer. He had an incompletion. It was short. He doesn't get a lot of reps, but, and I said to say, like, how much lenience do you want to show Jack? He didn't look as sharp. Okay, let me just go ahead and say that and continue to go through these. Bryce back under center with a handoff to Miles Sanders. Dalton's now under center with a handoff, did not catch who he handed that ball off to. Then Dalton was in the shotgun, hit Amir Smith-Marset, and I had a note about how good that Amir looked after the catch. Nice little scamper, cutting, scatting, going. Really good to see. Got some quickness to him for sure. That's very noticeable. But again, I will say they're not in pads. Nobody's hitting him. But he looked good as he danced after the catch. Bryce back under center with a handoff to Chuba. Bryce under center, false start. He had signal motion. Guys got back out there. So Bryce is back under center, did a fake handoff, dumps it to Miles Sanders. So those were your plays that I was able to observe today and report back to you guys. So there you have it. Going to continue to move on. Going to put a link in the video. So I was just asked about putting a link in the comments to the video for the plays. I can't really do that right now while I'm live. A lot of stuff going on, but I will put it in the comments. So just come back to the video. Give me about 20 minutes after this live broadcast ends, and I'll have the link to the other video where you guys can go and watch those play-by-plays. All right, so now we're going to go into the interviews. Dave Canales was up first, followed by Xavier Leggett, and then J.C. Horn. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into these videos from Dave as he talked about the footwork of Bryce Young and his progress. We didn't hear any sound there, so let me try to play this one more time. Again, first time, might have some issues, but I don't think I had the audio today. Let me try one more time. Alrighty. So let me try to fix this while we're live. Not really sure why there was no audio there. I'm going to try this one more time, and then if it doesn't, then I'll fix it. I'll do it another way. But here you go, the video for Dave on Bryce's progress.
pocket is going to start to fall apart at some point.
All right, as I said, I thought I had the video. I'm sorry, the audio with the video. Hit a wrong button there, but we're going to go ahead and make the adjustment. And now here is Dave Canales talking about the progress of Bryce Young, what he's seen in him so far from the training camp, from OTAs to now here at the start of training camp. Here we go.
You know, trusting your footwork, and my footwork takes me on time to number one in progression. And from there, you got to have a sense where the pocket is going to start to fall apart at some point. And the thing that I love the most, my favorite part about today, is Bryce and Andy finding the check down to the back, finding the short route that takes you. Once I'm off my timing, where's my outlet? And we got a couple of those. Probably you noticed a few of the balls going to the backs and the sideline in some of our options there. So we tell them, don't get hung up on one, move on to your next part of it. Now we're moving to find a check down. So I think we're on.
So there you have it. Coach Dave Canales talking about Bryce's progress so far. And let me quickly show this comment right here. Roadmaster, first time to the channel, subscribed. I appreciate it because I have had a few hiccups. Started with the mic being crispy, then had to find the audio there. Again, my first day from the season with all this live stuff, so there may be a few hiccups, but certainly appreciate the subscription. You now have a friend in the media and help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Lots of fun stuff that we're able to do. Things we're able to do that not many other media is able to because we're independent. There's a lot of things that you all want us to do. So feedback's always welcome to hear so we can make those improvements and continue to be your favorite source for Carolina Panthers news. So appreciate that, Roadmaster. But there you have Dave Canales there talking about Bryce and what he's noticing, the footwork, the going through the progressions. And that's also part of Dave's just really focusing on the timing, okay? So part of the time is having that clock where he knows how many seconds before the ball's in his hands that he wants it out. And then with that, you're also now, when you have that sense of urgency that you're programming into Bryce, boom, 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 he also knows this progression, and check down, go to your running back, which I read the play-by-play earlier. They did not a lot today, but they did do it a few times where they checked the ball down, again, getting the ball out of their hands. There's also drills that they were doing where they just get the ball, get it out, get the ball, get it out. And these were drills that the quarterbacks were doing with the centers just to continue those mechanics, getting the ball out quickly. Something that you say, hey, Dave has been talked about in terms of his attention to detail and it being something, and his positivity. And it seems to be something that works. I like it a lot so far. Hold on while I take a drink. All right, so let's continue to work through some of these videos here. Dave Canales, first practice today for him as an NFL head coach, first practice for the Carolina Panthers, first practice here in Charlotte. And he talked about his enthusiasm for.
You know, it's such a challenge for me. I had an amazing opportunity this summer to spend some time with Tony Dungy, who's one of my mentors, talk to Pete Carroll on the phone, and just kind of asked him, you know, what to expect. And I think the part that made me a little anxious is I know that I can't walk into this with 30 years of head coaching experience to be able to see everything, but I want to just continue to challenge myself to see it all. See what's happening, not just on the offensive side. For sure, that's what I'm here to make sure we step out on a good foot, but to see what's happening on the defensive side, how it's all fitting in. Spending time with special teams, we had some great periods out there where we're teaching fundamentals, which are going to be critical. So I think more and more, how much can I see on any given play? But I think in general, you know, I was just really excited, really humbled, and really grateful to have this opportunity and to really feel supported by a staff of amazing coaches and by a bunch of players who are hungry to do something this year.
So there's Dave talking about his first day, but also talking about some of the people that he's been mentored by to, you know, get ready for this opportunity that he has today and now is in as the Carolina Panthers head coach. Got one more clip that I want to play from Coach Dave Canales. We'll continue to move on. Competition, right? They talk a lot about it. They, as in head coach Dave Canales as well as General Manager Dan Morgan. Competition. One of the things that I remember Dave told me when we were in Indianapolis at the draft combine was that one of the things that he's fortunate about is he's not so much tied to these guys. So he hasn't been here. So when it comes down to the evaluation period, even though you got to do it because you're a pro, you're a head coach, make tough decisions, it's just even easier for him this first go around because he's not tied to these previous guys emotionally so much. And so that helps him with getting the competition in there. We all do better when there's competition. We all do better when we know that things aren't just set because you were here in one position today. Will you be at that spot tomorrow? But I also have loved hearing his enthusiasm and the way that he articulates what he wants, the way that he motivates. So the clip now that I'm going to play for y'all is Dave Canales talking about the competition that he wants to have and the approach that he wants his players to take with that competition.
It's cool. I just see a focus and an eagerness for them, and my encouragement, and the thing that is a big part of what I have to do to teach this team is we're not competing against each other. We're not competing against another team. We're competing to find our best on a daily basis. So if we can come with that focus, if every guy, every position group, every offense, defense, special teams, and then as a team, if we're competing to find our best, I think that's when you make the most progress versus looking side to side. Picture the Olympics in a 100-meter dash. You can't look side to side. You're trying to run your fastest, your best race. So trying to create that mentality.
All right, so what did you think of that response? Did you like it as much as I did? Did you not? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you thought about Canales' response there to the competition that he wants to have here in training camp. The other day, Dan Morgan talked about how does he look at the bottom part of the roster, which is important because guys are going to get hurt. So, it used to be a 16-game season, now 17-game season. You need guys that can come in as injuries may pop up. And Morgan said, number one, he always wants competition, and he's not afraid to continue to look each week to have guys with tryouts. The Panthers have been having tryouts all week. They have some more tryouts of players that are coming, so they continue to try to build that roster. And today, Dave said part of his process with training camp is afterwards you go and review the film, see what's going right, see what's going wrong, and try to improve, but you also know where you need improvement as you continue to do that on a daily basis. Let me continue to review some of my notes here and get through these for you all. I think I had just one more note from Dave that I want to talk about. Yeah, DJ Johnson was a player that had an illness, and today he wasn't participating fully. He was more so just doing drills. So something they just say they want to take their time with as he's not 100%. But DJ Johnson did have an illness today. Other feedback from Coach Canales was with the line being one of the people that are most affected by the lack of contact, they can't really do much at all. How do you evaluate them? What are you looking at? So one thing is today I noticed that these guys online, both the offensive line and the defensive line, I want them to communicate more because, it starts up front. Defensive side starts up front, offensive side starts up front, down in the trenches. And he said that though he did hear some communication from those guys, he wants to hear a lot more communication. He wants to make sure that those guys, whether it's on the offensive side or defensive side, they're talking and they're making their adjustments because it's so important that you start off on the right foot. And if a guy misses an adjustment or misses a blocking assignment, then that starts a domino effect for that play to just break down. So that's something that he wants to continue to see improve from the line. Now, next up was J.C. Horn. And you guys know we're here practicing in Charlotte now, which is great. I'm able to do more content because now I don't have 3 hours worth of driving that I have to do. I get to save technically, I guess, about 2 hours. But the rookies, this is something that I learned today. The rookies, basically guys 4 years and less, they still kind of have that training camp Spartanburg feel and that they have to stay at a hotel and they have a curfew. So guys 5 years and over, they don't have a curfew. They're going straight home back to their houses. But guys like J.C. Horn and all the other rookies, they're going back to a local hotel. But J.C. Horn was also asked about I forget what they're called, but the little extra padding that they're now wearing on the helmets. How does he like it? He says he doesn't like it. He hates it. Why does he hate it? He said, I'm a DB. I like to look good, and that thing on my head doesn't look good. But other than that, I guess it's serving its purpose. But Xavier Legette, big guy. That's everything that we've heard. I know it's had some pictures up there that I showed of him. He's a big guy, and he actually talked about going up against Xavier today in practice.
Yeah, he got me. He ran an outright on me. They got me for a PI, and I was arguing with the ref because he's so strong, man. Like when he put his body on you or push or pull you, you really feel it. So I was like holding on for dear life at one point, and the ref got me on the PI. But you know, it's always fun going up against X.
Xavier Legette is a big guy, so that was cool to hear him talking about it. You could feel a guy that's bigger than normal, which you're pushing off, and end up getting a pass interference on that. So we did also get a chance to talk to Xavier Legette, and for him, he said he started out slow today. It was his first training camp. It felt like he started out slow. This wasn't feedback that he got from coaches. This was just self-evaluation from him. Said he got out slow, needs to work on the details. His attention to detail needs to be greater. He did not have a catch today, and he says he just needs to get in the playbook more. And I'm assuming that's, I like to hear that from a guy, especially hearing that wasn't something that the coaches told him directly. Now, I'm sure he's probably getting some feedback now as they watch the film, but he was already on himself being very critical. Need to be more to pay more attention to detail. I need to get in the playbook more. And I just feel like I started out slow. So that's some of that I kind of hear as a rookie, what you expect to hear, because they're thinking a lot more than the other guys, right? They're thinking about, what is my assignment? What did he say? What do I block? Where do I go? This is my first time out here. So I feel like for Xavier, good to hear, but some of those things will just naturally come out as they have more repetitions out here in Charlotte. For sure, he felt 100%, said it was a little bit of his hamstring that kept him out of OTAs. I think we saw him, maybe 1 or 2 times, but he was extremely limited during OTAs. But he says he's completely recovered from that, feels great, and is 100%. And then also made a comment about the video that might have been out there on Instagram. He did some training with some other guys that's in the league, including the one and only, I'll say one and only, but Deebo Samuel. We all know who Deebo Samuel is, right? They had a little competition on the treadmill to see who could run the fastest. And when asked who won, he said, well, I won't do my Xavier impression yet for you all, but I kind of did it there saying y'all, but he said that he ran 19.5 miles per hour on the treadmill, and Deebo ran 19 even. So he said he was able to get the better of that in that competition. So that's it. That's your first report today from Bank of America Stadium about training camp being back in Charlotte for the first time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I say guys, but you guys and ladies enjoyed the show. Leave your comments down below. Love to have any feedback that you all would like to offer. And we'll be back out here every day. So tomorrow we'll be back out here. Please subscribe if you have not already done so. Let's do something fun. I have something to give away. So here's what I'm going to do. If you've watched the video up until this point, I have a Christian McCaffrey, I think it's 16 by 20 canvas wall print that I will give to you. So just type, even though he's no longer with us, type CMC in the comment, and you'll be eligible to win that. I'll announce it in a couple of days who won that, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. See you soon.